Hey friends, it's me, Erin, your friendly neighborhood energy alchemist, and I am here today to share with you some insight that I received yesterday during a conversation with a friend of mine about past lives and time in particular. And I'm super excited to share this with you. And I love how this came out during a conversation with a friend of mine because as a channel, the most effective use of my connection is through inspired conversation. And this is something that came out during that conversation. So I want to share it with you and share how this naturally evolved, right? All right, so this was my friend Brianna. She texted me and she asked me about time and trying to understand the idea that time is not linear. I sat down and I texted her and I literally texted her a book. So sorry, Brianna, but that's what channeling looks like for me. So I'm just going to read to you what I told her. Okay, so hang on. Sorry, I can't look directly at you. Sorry. All right, so the idea is when I'm doing my readings, I get a glimpse into a parallel life experience that your higher self is having. And the reason I get that glimpse is because there's a parallel between what that version is experiencing and what this version is experiencing, and giving you that insight can help you make decisions to clear things up for you where you are. So that's the basis of what I'm talking about. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So this is what I said, and this is where I started channeling. I said, my understanding is that the why the circumstances present themselves, like time period, gender, roles, etc., is all determined to help learn the lesson. So your higher self can have an incarnation in 2025 as you, Brianna, and then when Brianna passes away, that small fragment returns to the central or higher self, and a new fragment is spun off that has another experience in another circumstance. That is conducive, another circumstance that is conducive for the next lesson. I also understand that the personality you associate as you, Brianna, is never lost, just absorbed, so to speak, back into the higher self. So then it just kept flowing. Think of time as a bookshelf. Each volume is a different circumstance located in time, like on the shelf. Your central or higher self says, I need a lesson on self-healing, goes to the bookshelf and looks at the circumstances available. The central self sees a book called Middle Ages Europe Earth and decides that that's the most conducive environment for that lesson. So then the central self starts to lay out a plan or a life experience and sends a filament or energy or an incarnation into the storybook to live it firsthand. Once the experience is over, the book is closed, goes back on the shelf, and the book can be anything: Earth, another dimension, another galaxy, because in that library is everything in the universe. Each of these books is like a choose your own adventure. It has a main story, the lesson laid out to be learned, but is also filled with options along the way, free will. How long it takes to learn the lesson or get to the end of the story depends on how many adventures you choose to explore. All right, so to me, that was the clearest explanation I got on time and life experiences. You can have a life experience anywhere in time, and it doesn't have to be on this planet. It can be anywhere because the universe is infinite, and so are you. And the lessons you're learning don't necessarily just apply here to Earth. So if you ever have a past life regression, if you ever receive a reading from me, you have to allow yourself to look at this like getting a glimpse of a story that you are reading that has a parallel to where you are. See it as watching your twin have an experience, and you are learning the lesson from that experience that your twin is having, right? Okay, so I really hope that made sense, because it makes sense in my head, but my head isn't always logical. And you know where to find me if you have questions. Let me know what you think, you guys. I'm so excited.